I decided to use this McCall's pattern right here, and I had actually tried to use it for my Ariel cosplay, and I had cut, if you watch those videos, I had cut a lot of the pieces off to make a kind of a high-waisted skirt. That didn't work out, so I had to tape all these back together. The pattern in my size calls for 2 3/8 yards of fabric. I have under 2 yards of fabric. I just realized. Oh, I hope this is gonna work out. So I was able to get all my pattern pieces on here, minus the facings. I ended up, see, this is the salvage here and here, so I opened it up and then folded it in half lengthwise, and voila. Okay, so for this, I'm going to kind of be following the art, well, just for the dress, the art on the box for the doll. Her dress kind of looks like this, but it's a little different. And I will be incorporating what she looks like in the show and the art on the box. Kind of mixing those together, just whatever I like. Taking the pink fabric and then cutting out pieces of these patterns, big pieces, just so, because on the left side, there's a pink frosting, I guess. And so I'm going to cut out a chunk to make that. And then, of course, across her abdomen, there's another pink section. So I'm probably going to cut out a pretty big section. Just cut out all these pieces. But just stick it to like here and here on all of them. And then once everything's put together, I'll probably sew those pieces together as well. And then I'll cut out kind of the waves of everything. So I have tissues up my nose right now, and that's why I sound nasally. It's either allergies or I'm sick, I don't know. Doesn't matter. So I was going to use this pattern for the jacket. I took it out, and I have already used this pattern before, like I said before. And I took all the pieces out, was about to cut them out, and then I realized that the collar piece for view A is not in there at all. I don't know where it went. It's probably stuck in another pattern somewhere or something. Because the collar piece is in there, I can't use this pattern, and I'm not about to draft a collar piece. So I'm just gonna use this pattern here. It'll give me the same shape and everything that I need, and it has a collar on it. So this is what I want. Oh, my throat is getting sore. Maybe I am sick. Oh, I feel like garbage. I just folded this pattern up, and I was about to put it away in the bag, and then I saw the collar piece in the bag. I don't know how I missed that. I mean, it was folded up very tiny, so I don't know. This is we aren't all of this back out. I don't know. I just might use the other pattern because it has less pieces. Here's the dress. It doesn't have a zipper in it right now. It's a little bit on the long side, so I'm probably going to cut it down. And as you can see, it's really tight right here. So I'm probably going to just let out the hips a little bit. I already knew that was going to happen because up here is a different size than down here. So here's the jacket. I think it came out really nice. It's a unisex size, so I cut an extra small, which I normally wouldn't wear, but since it needed to be open, I was like, well, I'll cut it smaller, and since it's unisex, it should have room for my shoulders, and it's supposed to be made with a thicker fabric too, so I think it worked out really good. I still have to hem this and hem the sleeves a little bit. I cut where you would extend the sleeve. That's where I just cut it at. I probably could have cut it a little bit longer since this is about where the sleeve is supposed to be, so it's gonna have a tiny little seam on it, or maybe I'll use bias tape, I don't know. My dress form isn't out to my size, so that's why this looks pretty baggy. Ignore that. But I just wanted to show you the pieces that I made out of the pink fabric. Just kind of like the blocked pieces that I'll go in and kind of cut the waves out of. I know I can line this one up on the bottom, but I'm just like, it's gonna be kind of interesting to line this back up here. I don't know where this goes, and then I haven't let the hips out yet, so I don't know if that'll affect this. I plan on putting some kind of fusing on the edge, not across the whole panel, but just across the edge so it sticks to the dress and doesn't fray. Or maybe I'll just sew it down and put fray check on it. I don't know. I don't know yet. So this is the lower left-hand corner of my dress. This is going to be where the seam line is right here. I kind of mark that. And then I kind of just made a swervy line right here. I have this ruler to make a scalloped edge, which I will be using here. But I thought about using it here. And in some of the pictures, it looks more uniform and some of it looks more drippy. So I'm kind of going in between. It's going to be kind of uniform looking, but still this part is going to be free-handed. And then I'm going to use the small scallops on the hemline. I'm going to take the pink off and fold it in half and cut this out. And so it'll be the same on the back side. Before I put it back on, I'm going to put some fray check on the edge so that it doesn't fray. And then I'm just going to sew it down on the edge, pretty close to the edge. I was going to open up all these seams and then stick this seam inside the seam. I don't think I'm going to do that. Don't think that's necessary. And I don't feel like doing it. And I might sew down the seams, like on top of it, like, you know, stitching in the ditch, just to keep it in place more, but maybe not. We'll see. And then I'll leave this on here, and then up here across my torso be doing the same method. I will pin it on here and then probably draw how I want it on the front, fold it in half, and then cut it so that it is just like mirrored on the back. So here is that bottom corner of my dress. Not too pleased with how this looks like here. I might actually put some three-dimensional paint on here. I don't know. We'll see. I actually ended up taking out the back seam. I didn't have the zipper in, but I had it sewed up to where the zipper would be. But I took it out because I knew I would need it because this was difficult to sew on. So I could sew on the part that goes across my torso and also to pin it on because I knew that would be difficult as well. I finally got this piece pinned. I think it's in the right spot. It better be in the right spot because this took like 20-30 minutes. Just adjusting and readjusting and pinning. There must be a better method to this. But it's on there, so I'm going to sew it on. Okay, so here's the pink sewed on the dress. I let out the hips a little bit. So for the hem, I cut off 3 inches and then I measured out 2 inches and then flipped it up. And I did a basting stitch to keep it in place. This is for the scalloped edge. Now, I don't know. I'm having mixed feelings about this pattern. I don't know if it's the pattern or if it's the color because it kind of matches my skin color. I don't think it complements my body that much, but it's okay. I still think it's cute, and when everything is together, it's not going to matter anyway because it'll just be cute. So for my scalloped edge, I have 2 inches right here, and then this stitch right here is 1 inch. And I'm going to be lining up the points, like here, of the scalloped edge on that 1 inch mark. And yeah. Okay, so now I'm just trimming this seam down a little bit and then cutting slits where the points are. I'm also cutting a little bit out the sides right here, just so that when I flip it out, it's just cleaner. Yeah, and then I'm going to flip it out and press it. And here is the scalloped edge. I think it looks really cute, and the dress construction is basically done. I just have to decorate it and such, but yeah. And here is the finished construction of the jacket. I really like how it turned out. My only problem is that the sleeves are kind of wide. I have very broad shoulders, so I thought it would be okay, but man, they're so, I don't know. I wish they would sit where they're supposed to sit. I mean, you can't see my hand. I wish they would sit where they, like, say this was my shoulders wider than this, but you know, this fold is supposed to sit right here, and it kind of sits down. I don't know if it's designed like that, but other than that, I really like it. I brought in the sides a little bit more just so it would sit more open. And now I just have to put some buttons on it. I have a couple of button ideas. So I have these buttons that I would just, you know, paint so they're matched. They're flower shaped buttons. Her buttons are like swirly buttons, so I don't know. It doesn't have to be exact. I have to keep on reminding myself it's not a competition. It's okay. Then I have these buttons right here. Then I got these buttons from Dollar Tree, which are smaller. I really wanted big buttons because if you see how hers is, the buttons on it are really huge. But I might take some air dry clay and make the little swirl design and then put it on top of the button. The plan is to kind of make it and then put it on the button. I guess make it, stick it on the button, let it dry, pull it off, sew the button on, and then glue it on. So I might do that just to get the really big exaggerated button look that she has, but we'll see.